If you have your phone near you, the one thing I would recommend is to search for your business. See what happens. How does it show up on Google? And is it on Google's AI? Have you tried ChatGPT, Perplexity, Grok, any of the other popular AI formats? If you did not appear or your business did not appear in the top, that means you're not being cited as much. And you may be wondering, where's my leads? Where's my clicks? Why am I not getting the traffic that I once did? Because I'm telling you, people are looking at their Google Analytics and not seeing the traffic which they once did. And they're asking why. It may not be that you're not getting the leads. It may be that your leads are asking different questions. And even though you offer that service with your precision ag dealership or your ag equipment dealership, you may not be cited because there's nothing in your digital footprint that says that you do. So this week on this episode of Harvesting Growth, I'm Laura Southerly. I'm here with my good friend Brad Kilgore, and we are going to do a deep dive into this to give you a way within 30 minutes that you can look at your site, your digital footprint, and make some adjustments today that will help you stand out. Hi, Brad. Thanks for joining me today. How are you doing?
Hey Laura, doing well. This is an exciting episode. I'm really looking forward to sharing ideas with you and jamming out and hear what you got to share because what you just said is exactly right. The game has changed.
It is, and it's not going to be, okay, we do it this week and we forget it. This is going to be something that as you do team meetings, as you do quarterly planning, we're going to recommend monthly to just take a moment to see how you show up. Because as AI systems get more sophisticated, as more farmers are using AI to search, I mean, right now, today's stats is only about 14% use it, but we know more and more will. And they're going to be asking more sophisticated questions. It doesn't just help to put ag equipment dealer any longer. The farmers ask for specific things from those, or when they're researching, they're asking for specific solutions to the problems that they're having. So think about adding this to your calendar to say, let's update our digital footprint. Or did we mention that in our social media? Or do we need to do a video on that? All of that will build your digital footprint that when your growers are asking, how can I connect this monitor to this functionality or get data out of it from this year's planting? If you are providing that information and again, the solutions to that problem, you're going to be cited easier than others that have just said, hey, we sell this monitor, you can get yield from it, or your yield data from it. So Brad, I know you have some things that you are eager to learn about or eager to share with, but does that sound like a good place to start, is just doing it or more frequently than not?
Yes, I would agree. I think that keeping an eye on things monthly is a really good idea. And, it doesn't have to take a lot of time, but it's consistency. Keeping an eye on what post new things online. Google Maps, Google Business Profile, you can post on there, post on your social media, all these different things. And we'll dive in deeper into some of the things that can help.
And if you're asking yourself as a business owner, like, how can I keep up with all these questions? What we recommend is think of the top questions, one, that you are already receiving, and two, what questions do you wish you were receiving or the work that you want to do? If you are not a crop consultant, or if you are not doing any kind of calibrations with the seed meters, then you don't have to worry about answering those questions. But if you're like, wow, we don't have as many seed calibrations as we once did, that's an area that you could focus on, where it be planter maintenance. Answer the questions that actually break down what the planter maintenance checklist should be, how your team handles that, how much does it cost is a very common one that will help be cited. It can just be a baseline, maintenance starts at X, Y, or Z. And then also consider including what that means for that grower. How much do they have to bring everything to you, the planter to you, or can you go to them? Or is that an option for you to pick it up? So if you include how long they'll be without a planter helps them plan ahead. And if you offer what services, like I said, to go pick it up, or whether you can do the maintenance there at your shop, or whether you prefer to go to the grower's location. So again, those details matter. And those are the questions that we would recommend focus on first if you're looking to grow that area of your business. The others will come after, but it really gets you your foot in the door.
That's right. Make a list of those top questions that get asked frequently, and once you have that list, then you can now put those things on your website, frequently asked questions area, on your blog posts, in social, on online forums for your industry. There's so many different places that people are asking questions, and it really has shifted now. I refer to Google as not just a search engine anymore, but an answer engine.
Very true. It is an answer engine. And actually, I'm going to share my screen here today, and we're going to look at just a quick little example here as we do the search test. Now, like we said, pick up your phones, search on your phones. We're going to look at it here on the.
Well, I think Laura might have fallen off of our show for a minute, but I know that she is going to be jumping right back on. And she's going to be showing some really good information as far as how AI and AI overview and Google search has changed. And there's just so many new details anymore that we take for granted that it's all changed, continuing to change all the time. Hopefully, Laura's internet didn't just completely crash. There she is. And Laura is back.
Let me try to share again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you might have shared the wrong thing because you went away. But
Yes, the
I kept the
exit
party
button
going though.
just dropped right out of there. So anyway, I'm back. We're going to do this strong. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Looks wonderful.
Are you able to see my? Okay. So I
Yeah.
just typed
Yep.
in precision ag dealers near me. You say you are able to see my
Okay.
screen?
Yep.
Okay. Good. So here, as we look down, you've got some manufacturers and a very popular magazine that's being seen. But here's one of our clients that is not only listed on the maps, but when you look around, they are cited many different times, many different places. And that's what we are excited to see. But if you are looking at a map, that too is pulling in. And when we're looking at AI results, this becomes very important too. So we're talking about your listings. You want to make sure your digital footprint is consistent with your name, address, and phone number. So you want to make sure those items are in with any of the listings. And that's something very common we help dealerships with. And you go and you can do it manually, or you can have an agency like ours help you with that. Brad, did you see the map, or did it not pull through when I changed over to the map view?
No, you showed that your precision agri services was the top one.
Okay, good. So we have, of course, the AI mode, and as Brad was saying here earlier, he mentioned Reddit. When we're looking at under more. If we look, their forums is now becoming very popular again. This starts picking up where there's conversations going on. So whether it be LinkedIn, Facebook, Ag Talk, there's going to be Reddit listed in here, Green Tractor. So all of these is something in another area that you will want to be aware of. And if you can become active in any of them, answering questions, being that helpful dealership, that truly, truly does help. So I wanted to share again, look through different things as to how you are searching, because it will make a big difference of where your information shows up. So some of my checklists that we have is the search test, obviously, your Google business profile. Make sure it's up to date and accurate. Look at it. They're always adding some different features. One includes, of course, it shows your reviews. So always be asking you for your reviews. Add new photos. Mention which brands you carry. Mention which equipment that you carry, or implements or row units, whatever is important to your dealership, have it listed online too, because again, that is what Google will lift up and cite when you have it in your listings. They also have some basic questions too about accessibility and parking, something, other things. Make sure everything's complete one way or another. It helps if you go and take through your time to go through that. So that's step number two. First one was the search. Second one is your Google business profile. Third one is reviews. I briefly just mentioned about reviews. Have your growers provide reviews. And it could be as simple as if they email you of, wow, your team showed up, was able to get me back into the field, that really assisted with X, Y, and Z. If they email you something like that or leave that voicemail, ask them if that could be used as a testimonial. And then from your Google business profile, you can go ahead and generate a link, send it back to them, and it's as simple as them copying and pasting what they sent to you. So we do recommend that if you can get it posted on Google, don't forget Facebook also counts. If they do not have access to one of those, ask them at least if you can put that quote, that testimonial within the product on your site. And you might say, well, why is that important? If you have only the product specs, if you only list that the dimensions, the size, all the technical data, anybody else can have that exact same information. But you can be authentic by adding the customer quotes of how it solved their problem. It was a solution that you offered. It can go ahead and start weaving your story in. I know we've done a few episodes now talking about being authentic. In agriculture, that's one of the best benefits that we have, is that we can really show how you're solving problems. And in interweaving those throughout your website is a prime location. Wouldn't you agree, Brad?
Yes, authenticity is the number one thing you want to portray across everything that you're doing online.
Yes, very much so. And so even when you take that, the fourth point we'll say is your website local signals. Take time to review your website. Does it mention your areas that you cover? Do you want to go ahead and change? Don't say we've been in business for X number of years. If you say you've been in business since, then it's more evergreen. It'll last longer and they'll know when you were established. So that is also a great thing to look at, is how many growers you've helped or where you specialize. Those details helps. Look for your phone number. Remember, we always joke and say that we build websites mobile first, but also glove worthy. We want buttons to be big enough that when growers are in their cab searching, they can click that button. Your phone number needs to be clickable. Some people don't ever test that to see if it works. You want to make sure that not only is your phone number consistent on any of your NAP, so that name, address, phone number listing, but you want to have it clickable so that they don't have to try to punch in all the digits in order to call you. I think that's a huge help, don't you, Brad?
Yeah, you want to have a clickable phone number. You want to have a mobile friendly website to where it is click to call. Yes, hugely important point.
Yes. Step number five is back to that name, address, phone number. If you don't have a fax machine anymore, you may want to remove it. Look to see what the phone numbers are. A lot of 800 numbers are no longer used. So is it out there? Do you need it to be removed? We talk about getting that data out there through aggregators, which will help publicize or get that your number out further, amplify it. That's the word I'm searching for. I know Brad's going to take a moment to show a report that we tend to use when it comes to looking at your name, address, phone numbers, but also where you want to look at your listings. So, Brad, would you mind sharing your screen and showing the viewers?
Absolutely. Just because you asked nicely, I'll do it.
Thank you. He's not going
Okay,
to trust me to hit any more buttons. I'll disappear.
that's right. Here we go. All right. So what Laura is explaining, and these we have different tools where we can do audits like this, where we're checking your overall exposure on online directories. Probably the most important online directory is Google Business Profile, like Laura mentioned. In this case, this particular client's been with us for 13 years, but we took the time and used the different tools that we had to make sure they're showing up in these different places. So the local pages are the big ones that most people know, Google, Bing, and Yelp. We want to make sure, again, that you have that all these, if you're doing it yourself, that you're getting all these things on there, your website, your hours, your photos, your reviews, all the different things that Laura just talked about. The other piece is so many people now are using, they're talking to their phones, whether it's Google, Siri, Alexa, talking to their house. I mean, the list goes on. But you'll see here under readiness that we've got all these fixed up now. So they show up and we make sure that they're kept up to date as well. The next part, data aggregators that Laura mentioned. Most people have no idea what data axle or localese or any of these are, but these are data amplifiers. So they're important to distribute business data to hundreds of partners, search platforms, navigation systems, and mobile apps. So hugely important. And then as we roll down the list, there's, I don't know how many, quite a few, 40 directories that we make sure that you're on. Again, most people are like, what in the world? I've never heard of half of these. Why is that important? Well, it's hugely important when it comes to modern search and getting found on Google. So there's all those. We'll kind of wrap up here where, again, all of these directory FTPs, another important place. And then lastly, we make sure you're here on all these GPS mapping accelerators, because so many people now are utilizing, talking to their what do they call it, Android Auto, or I'm sure there's stuff for iPhone in your car. I don't have an iPhone, but all these things here, all these different places, it's just another step. So when people are out and about or whatever they're doing, they can find your business. And these are all the pieces of the puzzle, so to speak, that make a difference in the overall search. Any questions on that, Laura, before I stop?
No, I think that you bring to the forefront some valuable information as to where clients, to your point, you may, we may not know, I mean, a customer may not know what those businesses are known, but what happens is that as you get listed with there, then they're picked up more and more frequently. So it just, as you said, amplifies it. It just gets it pulled out further and further, and that just strengthens your digital footprint. That's one reason why, too, that we really stress the name, address, phone number, is because you don't want that diluted. And if it's consistent, then again, it shows that you're paying attention, that it is authentic, it's you, and it's a business that Google can trust. And that comes, we talk about trust a lot. That is very, very important as well. So take a few minutes to just go through that. And I think that we've covered a lot, and I don't want to overwhelm anyone because these are simple areas that you can take some focus, do your search, look at your, I'm going to go ahead and read them back off since I don't want to miss any, but you definitely want to do your search, look at your Google business profile, make sure it's claimed. So as soon as you're done with this, Google your business name. Look to the right. Does it say that you are the manager of your business? If not, claim it. You will definitely want, now you may be working with an agency and they have it and you're very aware of that. That's great. But you definitely want to make sure that you claim your business on that. Again, continue to always ask for reviews whenever you can. Review your website, answer any of those questions, update with any, that can be just ongoing once a month. Try to tackle one area that you wish to tackle, and you will see the difference. So we're going to go ahead and list these in the show notes because I think they're valuable for you to download and think about and consider. But Brad, I appreciate you going through that report. There are many reports out there. If you need us to run one, please reach out. We'll run that report for you so you as know what your baseline is and where you are listed, because that's a huge help. So, Brad, anything else that you'd like to mention today?
I think you hit a home run, Laura. Even though you hit the wrong button earlier, you recovered nicely.
Very good. I'm glad that you covered for me so nicely there. But we appreciate you listening and viewing. And again, we strive to bring gold nuggets of AI tips and marketing foundation, very strong marketing foundation that you as a small business owner can take and move forward every day. So we want to say thank you very much. Hit subscribe, like, follow. We appreciate your questions and your feedback. So at this time, we'll go ahead and wrap another episode of Harvesting Growth. Again, I'm Laura with Agtivation, and we want you to get back out and play in the soil. Thank you.